live.
Welcome to WhoDooTV. That was Chris. It can't be fun. No. And I'm Hoosier. It is new comic book day. Well, the day before new comic book day for April 11th comic books. What's up, Chris?
Man, I'll tell you, I've just been busy, really super busy. You know, new roles, new world. I've had people from work leaving, so I'm the sole man right now.
I'm a soul man. I'm a soul. Oh, sorry, couldn't stop that one.
Yeah.
But you got a new kind of gig with Valiant fans.
Yeah, I'm now the head admin for the Facebook Valiant Comic Fans. And it's a job, man. It's like constantly having to babysit. You read every post. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of stuff to do beyond just that. It's fun. I enjoy it. I love doing it. It's a blast. I love talking to all the people and seeing all the stuff that they bring in. But, there's times where it can just be a chore. It can be. There's times where people really can choose to make it not fun.
That's not nice. People need to be fun.
Yeah,
fun. I did see one where people got a little upset with the guy. I decided to laugh about it, but the guy who wanted to say, like, I canceled all of my pull list for Valiant, and it's just like, well, that's good,
That's fine, but
yeah,
you think coming onto a Valiant site and saying that I sold all my Valiant books or I got rid of all my Valiant books or whatever it was that he said was really the smartest thing to do? Probably not.
He wanted attention. It's okay.
I think that's all it was.
But yeah, it's frustrating, and of course people don't need to be on to getting upset at that. But want to say what's up to Danny Millhouse for jumping on, and Comic Book Brother. Thanks for jumping on, guys. So it has been a busy couple weeks. Sorry we missed last week. I was out sick, couldn't make it in. But we're here again. So that was the first time in a year, man. This show's been going on a year straight every week.
Yeah, a little better than a year, huh?
Yeah, over a year, yeah.
Yeah, because when I first met you at Emerald City, you were just spinning up to get ready.
Yep, that's right.
That's actually pretty darn awesome. You've been going solid for better than a year before you took your first day off.
Right, that's it. So we had to do it eventually, but we want to continue being consistent. That's kind of the idea, because you guys jump on the show, so we want to say thanks by doing that. But then we had a lot of stuff happen this last couple weeks, and it's a lot of Valiant stuff has came about, and who is what is who, we don't know. We do know that we do have a new executive editor, which is Joe Ildridge, and he comes highly regarded. People have liked him for a while. Bleeding Cool has put out some rumors that Warren is going to be stepping down, and then that we have a new CFO, and it was initially rumored that he was going to be like taking over all of Valiant as far as that, but it's Eric Sullivan. So just lots of rumors, and then the promotions for some staff, some much deserved staff, like Adam got a promotion, and so Victoria got a promotion, and another editor, I believe, got moved up, international sales. So quite a bit happened in that matter. So it was quite a busy couple weeks.
It was a really big step, and I know at first there's a lot of Valiant fans that were very upset with Warren, but I think when Joe came along and they announced Joe, a lot of people were like, wait a minute, well, I've heard that name. And man, that's a big name. And I think it really went a good distance in soothing some of the fears, because, Warren's been a staple and a hell of a guy. Man, I love talking to him. He was just so chilled and laid back and easily accessible. Well, Joe's much the same, very easily accessible. I follow him on Twitter. I've chatted with him a little bit here and there. And he's just a nice dude, and he's very positive and upbeat, and just awesome. And now the promotions, you're talking about those guys, all four of them were hardworking people in their position. So I think it was obvious that these people part of the heart and soul of Valiant needed that promotion. They were ready to take the next step, and they're going to excel. Right. That's what's awesome. Is these people that have been butt kickers this whole time are just going to continue to excel, and that's awesome to see.
It is good to see that there's, you know, guys like Adam who are around, and Adam has, you know, I like one thing that he did this week. One thing Adam did do is he did share with us in this comment. Hopefully you guys could read my full program here, but it says, you know, just wanted to step in here for a second. Sounds like the rumor has worried some of you. Nothing has changed in the creative side. So basically goes in, talks about how Eric is basically with finance and he's going to help with Fred with publishing. And it's not that he's the head of, you know, the Valiant piece. And then he says, we talked a little bit more. They're going to talk a little bit more in the next couple of weeks, and they're going to hopefully be a little bit more transparent about what's up so we can see where they're heading. And he, like, I love what he says here. In the meantime, be careful taking any other reports on rumors with anything other than a grain of salt. So I applaud Adam for speaking up to that as far as that's concerned. And then I love that David got on here, David Barron, friend of the show. He says he agrees this is a great hire for Valiant and all fans should be thrilled. So it is a great hire. And then somebody asked, but Warren's gone, you know? And so he goes, yes, but Joe's really going to bring the same things to the comics, continue to do it and more. And he is backing him both publicly and privately. So I think there's some good things to be said about the things that are happening. And, you know, it's sad. I really sad to see Warren go. I mean,
yeah,
but Joe is a good guy to come in, and they didn't give him the editor-in-chief title right now. I don't know if that's something that's just in waiting. Maybe. Or if there's going to be another as executive-in-chief. Who knows? That's what kind of makes it interesting. And then the context of the press release really talked about how he plans to work with Warren about what's coming up in the next year or so. And so who knows how long that resigning notice is going to be? Is it a year long? Is it, you know, when's that happening? So
is it a transition? Yeah, it could be. Who knows? Another thing that I thought was fantastic was C2E2. When they said, Valiant fans, come over here. If you have worries, if you have some fears, sit down with us. Let's talk it out. And they really opened themselves up and said, all right, what's your fear? What's your problem? What are you scared of? And I think one by one, which the fan base that is as rabid as Valiant, one by one is about the best approach you possibly could. And I know they stuck around there every minute of every day. And if there was a person that had questions, they were going to take care of it. If they had a question about direction or durability or what DMG was going to do, they were open, they were honest, and you know, and they showed their cards. And I think more of that stuff is going to come from Valiant, which, come on, let's be honest, that's what we love about Valiant.
That has been one of the things I love the most is just the fan relationship, the openness, the accessibility. That's huge, and I hope that continues, and it sounds like it will. Mel sounds like a guy that definitely will. I mean, he even asked people to friend him on Facebook and let him know, let me know how I know you. Send me a DM that we're Valiant fans, and just cool, down-to-earth guy. Hoping to get him on the show really soon. I think that would be awesome, and then see who else would like to join. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Mel, just coming from married into a Filipino household, knowing that he's Filipino, I want to trade some recipes. I hear he's an amazing cook. So, you know, I just want to see how he does his adobo. I want to see some of the little things that he does. I've heard nothing but amazing things when it comes down to him on the grill. So yeah, looking forward to meeting that man. Looking forward to eating with that guy.
Here I was thinking I was the fat guy, but but probably a good thing. And one thing that's been of stress of late for lots of Valiant fans has been a little thing called Ninjak Versus, and we finally got the dates of when it's coming out.
And it's real soon.
It is really soon. Premiering April 21st on comicbook.com. There's going to be 6 episodes. These 6 episodes, you will watch each one of them day after day after day for 6 days straight.
Jax.
Look at that Shadow Man in this picture.
Listen, I think they just released that picture today, And what's your name? Annie? Is that my saying? I'm probably butchering her name. She pulled that up. She said she was crying because she's a huge Shadow Man fan.
If you go to Bat in the Sun's Facebook page, they have actually posted multiple pictures of this Shadow Man in different views. You can see up here in the top right corner, Ninjak with Shadow Man. And then we also got a little Roku close up, a little. So they're putting out a lot more. And yeah, Shadow Man's pretty cool. I question the little Shadow Man logo there. That's the only thing I could gripe about, but I am so happy that it's here. It is so awesome that we're getting Shadow Man. We're getting Ninjak versus and all of it.
Yeah. And I'm super excited just about the fight sequences. I mean, really, I want to see the fight sequences. I know they've put a lot of time and, well, of course, a lot of time, but lots and lots of effort in this. I love all the actors. It's going to be amazingly fun to watch, and I know you and I are probably going to watch it a dozen times. I mean, per day, constantly, nonstop.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I mean, I watched the trailer probably a million times, but I also had a year and a half to do that. So, so that'll vary. So I'm excited for this. I hope you guys are too, that it is coming and a set date. And yes, lots and lots of joy for me to have this come out. And they also at C2E2 validated, and Vin Diesel validated it too, but Vin Diesel, they're starting to shoot Bloodshot.
Yep. And we talked about that last time we were on together about his post that was pushed out by Dinesh. And it took C2E2 for Valiant to say, boop, yes, we're posting this. It's on the move. It's chugging right along.
Yep. So really cool. Really cool. I hope I don't know what his accent is, but I just can't see Bloodshot talking in Vin Diesel's accent. That's the only thing. I think he'll do good otherwise.
I can't. And of course, I think back to Pitch Black when, not when he's talking, like in the second one where he talks a lot, more the first one where he doesn't talk a lot. But the words that he says seem to have more impact. And I don't know. I mean, I can hope for something like Terminator. If you remember back then, there was a real risk with Terminator and the fact that they were worried that Arnold Schwarzenegger's accent was going to kill the movie. So they limited his lines because they wanted the physical presence, but they wanted to limit what he said. And that's where we get classic lines like, I'll be back, Here's a funny thing about Arnold, that he had a bunch of money back then, and Total Recall had already been filmed or halfway filmed, and then it ran out of money. And he came in and financed it and said, but we got to refilm it. I'm the lead actor. Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you are right. I mean, they remind me of each other in a weird way, a little bit of Stallone and Vin Diesel, but yeah. Well, let's get into some of the stuff. Well, it's been 2 weeks, so it's hard to kind of remember all of it, but some of the stuff you read last week or the week before, because the week before we had a awesome new book come out.
Man, Shadow Man, it was everything that I was expecting it to be. Kind of understanding and knowing the direction that it's going to be going in. I thought it was fantastic. I really dug the last couple of panels and the last couple of pages where it really did sink in that voodoo feel. It got me stoked for the next book, and I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. I don't want time to go by too fast because there's so many other great books that we get to talk about, but I'm ready for that second book. I am very much ready for it.
Nice. Yeah. Shadow Man was fantastic. Seeing what Baron Samid in there. I mean, just some cool things. Yeah, I was super pumped up. I love his characterization. We're going to have a review video of that one out really soon. So be on the lookout of that. If you guys looked back to the page I just showed you just a minute ago, one of the books that's in here is Analog, Jerry Dugan. And that is a freaking awesome book. Another one that we're doing a review on. The video should be coming out soon. But Analog, Jerry Dugan, that came out last week.
Refresh. I know it, but it's right on the tip of my tongue. Refresh my memory, if you would, and everybody else is out there.
What's that?
Analog. What's it about?
It's about a ultimate leak happening, and a leak happened, and everybody their information's like exposed everywhere. There is no privacy, and with this privacy breach, they have people called ledgermen, and their job is to analog deliver hard papers to places, and it's just crazy world. And this guy's a cool ledgerman, and it's on his journey about probably in my opinion is trying to fix the whole digital breach, or I'm not sure what, but it's pretty cool. It seems very appropriate for the time. Knowing that Jerry Dugan wrote it a couple years ago, actually, from having talking, is that he wrote it a few years ago, but it just now got finished now. And it's so appropriate with the Facebook dump that recently happened, with all of the Russia dumps that keep happening, the Russia hacks. Very much worth it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that book, I'd heard about it, but my busy schedule, I couldn't get back to the comic store. And when I saw it up there, when you and I were talking about it I was like, man, I know it, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. That book does sound pretty awesome.
Dude, it is going to be, it is good. The first one was great. I'm excited to see what comes when more of them come out. So, excuse me. And then there's some decent books out this coming week. What do you have on your pull list?
Well, I think the two that are right off the top, the one that there's two that are really super. Well, there's more than just two, but the two non-Valiant, I'll say. The ones that I'm excited about right now are Oblivion Song. Man, I loved the direction that Kirkman went on it. I like the things that he did. He set it up so that you're excited for book number 2. And yeah, I want to know more about the story. I want to know, how he created the technology that he can make these jumps. I want to know why it's failing. I know the government's pulling money out so that they're not funding as much, but there is so much of the story that's yet to unfold that he gave you little bits and pieces to. I just want to know more. So I'm excited for this number 2.
He's one issue into this book, and so now you want all of the reveals on issue number 2. Probably not going to happen knowing Kirkman, and we're on number 170 something with Walking Dead, and he went to how many on the Invincible? So hopefully he gives us little cookies, little nuggets here and there, little bitty breadcrumbs, and we kind of learn where we go with that. But that is a great call out, Chris. Thank you for calling out Oblivion Song. I think that is a great book, great call out. One that I would like to call out, and one reason being is one of our friends of the show has got a book of his coming out, and that is Ryan Wynn's work with Trevor Hairsine on Red Hood and the Outlaws number 21. Getting those. I think this is their second issue. I believe they started at 20 and they're going. So want to give Ryan Wynn a shout out there, and some Valiant creators on that for Red Hood and the Outlaws. It's been a pretty awesome run so far since Rebirth on Red Hood and the Outlaws. So something I would recommend everyone go check out. What else do you got?
Well, skimming through the list here, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are curious about Exiles. Exiles number 1 from it's a Marvel book. It's an X-Men type of thing. Sounds interesting as I peruse through it and kind of looking for little tidbits that I might find interesting. Maybe a slightly younger book, younger audience, I should say. But I think when you talk about any type of X-Men book and you talk about Nick Fury and how he is basically trapped on the moon, can't come back to Earth type of thing, and he's trying to put together a superhero group. I think that sounds cool. I think that might be something that some of the people out there might be interested in.
I can dig it. So that's awesome. On the chat, want to give what's up to Outright Geekery. Henry, what's up, man?
Henry.
Alterna Comics Anthony is up there. Yeah, Danny Millhouse gives us some of his lists, and he's got Flash 44, Hal Jordan number 42, And then he pulls off another book that we are going to call out today, and that is Gideon Falls #2, with the fantastic writer Jeff Lemire writing us another solid issue to learn more about this mystery suspense. I don't know what to really call this book just yet, but that is sometimes what makes Jeff Lemire so good, is that he can genre mash so well. And so I am giving some props for Gideon Falls #2.
Now, I want to talk about, while you leave this up here, leave that picture up there. And the first time that when we're talking I didn't see the picture, the artwork, but I thought, now that I saw it, of course, you see the eye and the shape of the nose and what looks like it could be like a bloody nose or something like that. You see a beard, an ear, and of course a bald head. I just caught that, and there's something maybe just like, wow, that's really cool. I like the way they designed that. I don't know why.
It's pretty interesting. You look at the first issue, and it looks like it was more in the city with the kid's head faced the other direction. Yeah. And now you got this one that's more, I mean, it's clearly a like Google Earth image of a more rural area with farms and whatnot, and a little bit of cities and business. And yeah, just the way they kind of did the little farm right there to have the circle of the ear, the road, or more like a road or canal. They just, yeah, very kind of genius, you know. Sorrentino does some really cool things, so I give props to that too. So I'm in for that book. Good call out there. What else you got?
Well, I had a list of Alterna comics that I wanted to talk about, and the website that we pull from doesn't have anything Alterna. I know our boy out there who's the biggest Alterna fan. I'm sure he's probably got a few books to pull out that are coming out. I had them done up at work and off to the side, and I left them.
Oh man.
But you know, there's something always to be said about a comic book company who's willing to put out a quality story for $1.99. And I've just been enjoying what they do and how they do it. I just wish I had the dang list now.
Yeah, and one thing I want to give a call out, and it looks like I think William had it out there, but there's a bunch of good #1s out with Image this week. You also have the Dead Hand #1, which is a really cool looking book. Another one that caught the eye was Crude #1. Yes. Books not necessarily pooling. I may end up reading them later on, but they definitely look like some interesting ones. So good places to start. If you're looking to start with comic books, sometimes a #1's a good place to go. And there are a couple of those available for you this week. Anybody else on the chat, let us know what you're reading. And then we have some, William pulls out Go West, Tinseltown. Looks like 12, Doppelganger, all from Alterna Comics. So
those books sound familiar. And like I said, I mean, if you don't know Alterna, which there's not a lot of people that do, and you got $2, I mean, it's going to be an interesting story.
Yep, it's definitely worth it. I mean, you can't get better than $2. Like you said, they're pulling out a quality book. It looks good, and it's really, it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it. Take a look at it, grab a book, and go from there. Let's see. Anybody else got anything on the chat? So there's two other books that are coming out this week too.
And I'm excited about one of them in particular. It's the Ninja K #6.
Oh, that is a pretty darn good book.
Well, see, one thing that I found out just today is that Valiant pulled a fast one on everybody. They didn't announce this, but it was put out there as I went to my LCS right before I came home to pick up last week's stuff. They're putting out a pre-order #6. It will be there. So if you had pre-order 1 through 5, ta-da, you get a 6.
So that is pretty awesome that they're doing that. I like how they're doing that. And this book it's the brand new arc. So You're starting the brand new arc, good jumping on point kind of with the story and where it's going. I actually, having got into the first one, you don't really need to get in to the first arc to get into this. So it is a good jumping on point. pick up the last arc wherever you can. But yeah, you can start right here. And it is one of those ones that I think people would enjoy. Really cool story. We're about to get looks like a cool little team up. I mean, the cover kind of gives a little bit away on this one. When you look at that, there's the Jonin, and you have, what's the Deathless? Custody. And then you're going to have Livewire and Dr. Mirage and Punk Mambo. So we're going to get a cool story with this. I love what Christos Gage is doing, man.
I'll tell you something. The bad guy, it's interesting. Sometimes you see a bad guy. It could be like take Rai, and you get Dr. Silk and Rai. And you know Rai's going to beat Dr. Silk. It's just one of those things. But when you look at that murderer's row of murderers that are all those bad guys, and then you look at the lineup of the good guys that they have there on the other side, you can't help but think, wait a minute, those bad guys, those are some bad dudes and dudettes. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly they do. And especially with Custody, the last time we saw her was in Divinity 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or I should say Divinity 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And she was a good guy. But you always knew that she had almost like a bad guy type of element. And in Divinity 0, she wasn't brought forward, so you didn't know what her role was. It'll be interesting how they bring her into the fold and how she's going to be displayed, because I think she's going to be a bad guy from this point forward.
Yeah. I think so too. I think it's again, pretty cool run. There's going to be some cool characters reveals, some cool connection with our Livewire Ninja connection. Yes. And how that plays out is always something interesting. One of the other books that I'm going to call out is a book you guys are not surprised that I'm going to call out. Bloodshot Salvation number 8. We get to see Bloodshot. I don't want to spoil things because I already got the okay. You get to see Bloodshot and Deadside. We already know that, so that's where I'm going to leave it. And
leave this up because I did want to talk about this art. There's not a lot of people that have focused on the art, much like maybe a father has. And first, we'll talk about the gun and all the war-torn death that he has below. As a new father, it's very difficult to protect your child from all the things that are scary in the world. So you feel like you have to be armed to the teeth. Now notice the eyes and how they're bloody and possibly gouged out, as from the last one. You're blind to the things that are right in front of you because you're a first-time father. How do you protect your child when you don't know yourself? Most fathers are, maybe their 20s, early 30s, and it's a whole new world. Unless they were a step or they were an adopted, they adopted or something along them lines. It's a whole new world when you have your first child. And I think this art is fantastic. I think this next bit of story is amazing. And I know I read it on Twitter, and I wish I would have known the guy's name because I give him all the props because he's the one that broke all this stuff down. But I'm able to see it, and I definitely wanted to speak on it. How this is a shoot 'em up, kill the bad guy type of gung-ho story. But underneath of it, Lemire's done something that not a lot of people are catching on. And the fact that this is the fears of every first-time father out there. And on that alone, that's very deep for any guy that has sat there. I shouldn't say sat there. For any guy that has gone through fatherhood or is going through fatherhood, can attest to. It's a scary world.
Yeah, that's a cool call out there. I'll definitely give you some credit on that. It's a little too deep for me,
because deep, but I totally jived on it, man. I totally jived on it.
I know you did, but there you go. There's your connection right there. A little Vin Diesel playing Bloodshot, and he's going to be the pacifier.
Going to be the name.
You go, and that is Bloodshot wrapped up. There it is. The movie's already made. The movie is already made, guys. There you go. We already got Bloodshot. It's out. It's been out for a long time. I don't know what the heck you guys have been crying about. It's there. So no more crying about it. Bloodshot's been here. Vin Diesel has already played the role. Shut up. Oh man, but it is a great book. Bloodshot Salvation has been Lemire is Lemire, dude. It is solid, solid, solid. Yeah. Oh man, I got to go back to that image real quick, guys, because you even look at this. I mean, he's even got on the camo pants here. He's got the boots. Oh, he's got the. Oh man, it's there. I mean,
what is he stepping on there? He's stepping on
a baby bottle, man. So I mean, he must be blind. He must be in the dead side and lost his eyesight, and that's why he's stepping on a baby bottle. It's great.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
So we got it. We got it. But yeah, I think there's some great books coming out this week. I'm pumped up for to talk about Bloodshot a little bit more, to talk about these Ninjak books that are coming. I think there's some cool things coming around the corner. And then what is it? The 21st. That is next, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, Ninjak Verse.
Yeah.
But a day before. Listen, are you listening, Meow? Make sure you're listening, Meow.
I'm listening, right, Meow.
All right, listen, Meow. We got some Super Troopers too, and that makes a guy like me pretty happy.
Oh man, I so fell in love with Super Troopers the first time I watched it. Of course, I was working in law enforcement at that time, and to me, it was just the over the top levels of stupidity were fantastic, and I loved it. And yeah, I'm so I've been looking forward to this movie now for 3 years, 2 years, however long it's been. It's been forever, and I am excited to see it.
Did you happen to do the $20 Kickstarter?
I did the $200 Kickstarter.
What? Did you get the video?
I put $200 in. I get the glasses, the mustache, the badge, the shirt. I get signed posters. I get movies of both Super Trooper DVD, Super Trooper and Super Trooper 2. I got a whole list of stuff. And you better believe that Friday on the 420, I'm going in that cop shirt with the badge and the mustache. Even though I have one, I'm gonna be all decked out like Farva.
Dude, we gotta figure that out, because you asked if I was doing something next week, and the answer is yes. We're going to go see that movie. Yeah, that's for sure, man. One of the guys, I saw some guy post on there, and he, he's like, the best $20 I ever spent, and it has Farva on there, basically calling his name and calling him a chicken.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. That's awesome.
They did those call outs, those shout outs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is hilarious. So, yeah, just be ready for a couple good things coming out. Yeah.
One other thing on a movie tip, and I know it's got a lot of acclaim, but A Quiet Place. I'll tell you something. For a PG-13,
wait, I'm listening. What are you talking about?
It's a quiet place.
Where?
It's just a place that's very quiet. It's the whole earth.
Oh,
it becomes a quiet place.
Oh, the movie's name is It's a Quiet Place. Okay.
Yeah. And for a PG-13 movie, that is an intense movie. I loved it. And the best part is the movie is, of course, really, really quiet. And you got that obnoxious open mouth chewer of popcorn. You get to hear that. Yeah. That was a fantastic movie. If you before the 20th, go and check that movie out. I thought it was pretty darn good.
That's awesome. And if there are things you guys are reading, anything you guys are on, make sure you put that in the comments. We want to hear what you guys are saying. Quick call out again. Thanks, William, for jumping on. Danny, Henry, Anthony, Vortex. Who else we got on here? We got a couple other people. Comic Book Brother, thank you for jumping on. NES Master 80 says hell is finally frozen over. We're getting Ninjak versus.
Yeah.
It works. And then not my name all jumped on. So I want to thank everybody for jumping on. Again, make sure you put some comments. Make sure you hit and subscribe. And let us know what you're reading. Give us your recommendations. We want to know what books you're reading. And it doesn't even have to be the stuff that just came out. Put out the stuff you like and you want. So we're going to go from there. Chris, thank you for jumping on.
Absolutely.
And that's what I have to say. We appreciate you guys.